Hi guys, today is Random Chores Day in the garden. We've got a couple big projects coming up in the next couple weeks, so I wanted to get out here, just walk around the front and backyards and just take care of any loose ends. I know in the front we've got our mint that we need to cut back. I think I have a shrub that we need to dig up because it did not survive the winter. We've got some ornamental grasses still in containers wintering over in the backyard that I would like to cut back. And then, I don't know, we'll just kind of go around and just see what else needs to be addressed. I also want to give you an update on our invasive weed project that we did a little over a week ago. It's looking okay, but they're coming back again. I figure we'll start in the backyard. I'll give you an update on our invasive weed project. Then we'll head to the front yard, start out there, and just work our way back to the backyard. We're at the bottom of the swale right now, and if I turn, you can see the swale going all the way up right into the butterfly garden, and you can start to see patches of dead grass, and we do have a few of those weeds, the lesser celandine, that have yellowed out. I think we have another one up here that is getting crunchy. So the areas that we hit seem to be doing pretty well. You can see wherever we hit, it killed everything, grass included. But you can see it's all turning a pale green yellow. Here's another example. Here's a good one. This one is pretty much crisped up and is dying. And this is what we want them all to do. The problem with this weed, though, is that wherever you treat one, a new one pops up. So you can see we got an area here that we treated, and while the chemical was doing its thing, another clump sprouted up, and they're already going to flower. So we want to remove the flowers if we can. But you can see as we go up the swale, we've got dying clumps and new clumps coming in. Look at this. This thing is massive. For scale, my hand is big. Look at that. And it's just, yeah, try to find any center of anything in this plant. But they're flowering. Standing at the top of the swale looking down, you can see the dead patches of grass that we're going to need to reseed. But again, you can still see the new clumps coming in all throughout. So I told you guys this thing was a beast. Another issue I think I mentioned when we did this project was we're not the only ones with this invasive weed in our yard. Our neighbors behind us, the neighbors next to them, our neighbors to the side of us, they all have it. So me trying to fully eradicate it is going to be next to impossible because it's kind of surrounding me. So my objective was to try and contain it, and I tried. I don't think, honestly, I don't think that it's fully containable given the circumstances. Let me show you. So here's our fence line with our neighbors, and they've got it popping up all over between the chain link fence and their privacy fence. It's just going everywhere, and it's shooting out around our crepe myrtle, and then it just goes crazy in their yard, and so on. So it's just, I feel like it's a losing battle. I will say, however, the area that we put landscape fabric down and mulched, that seems to be staying pretty contained, except for right around this arborvitae. You can see just how aggressive this weed is. It is literally pushing the landscape fabric up because it's trying to bust through. So I'm gonna have to come in here and with a little bit more landscape fabric, a few more strips, and try and just smother all of this around the arborvitae because there's no way I'm spraying this close to a shrub or a tree. You see, I got to do the same thing around the crepe myrtle. I may come out here one more time when the weather warms up in the next couple weeks and maybe do another light application, possibly just paint it on with a paintbrush to the new clumps that are coming in. But you guys know how I feel about chemicals. I do think there is a use for them when need be or when the need arises. But in this situation, having gone through an application and seeing the results and just seeing how aggressive this weed is, I'm almost thinking that when we start the shed project and when they start to do the foundation for the shed or the base for the shed, it's the same people that did the swale and all of our drainage and the retaining wall. I may just have them just scrape up all the grass in the swale and we'll probably just fill it in with rocks or actually we'll fill it in, rewind, we'll have them remove the grass, we'll lay landscape fabric down, and then we'll fill the swale in with rocks. That way it'll look pretty and we can hopefully prevent any more of this weed from spreading. So anyways, that is our update on this invasive weed. And oh my, it is an intense battle, you guys, but you know, we'll figure something out. So now I want to go out front and I want to check on those ground covers that we put in late in the fall. From what I can see, it looks like the cotoneasters survived, but I do believe that my Jazz Hands mini loropetalums have not fared very well. Our two cotoneasters are looking good. They made it through the winter. You can see they had some of their fall color there, but they are starting to push their new growth. So we've got some green coming out. I can see like a lingering berry hanging on right there. So these definitely survived our crazy cold winter because it dipped from like 30 degrees to like 5 degrees in a matter of hours. And the loropetalum, I clearly does not look like it has survived. I mean, it is just jiggling around in the ground. I'm gonna scrape it and see if we can see any growth in here. All right, can you guys see that? So it's kind of looking like maybe there's a little bit of green left. So I kind of like, I mean, I love this shrub, but I just want to give it a little bit more time because I'm kind of looking at that and I can see just a little bit of green around there. So maybe in a few weeks when it warms up, it will come back. This other one, on the other hand, you can't even see it, but it did not survive. We're just gonna have to pull this. There's no life in here. See that? Brown. When you peel the bark back, if it's brown, it's dead. That's unfortunate. We have a verbena over here that I thought died, but look at this. It's pushing some new growth. Just need to come in here and cut some of this old foliage back. Our Acorus ogon is looking good. Green arrow, Alaskan cedar, beautiful. And, oh, I don't even remember what this was. Spotwort? It wasn't lungwort. Some type of a ground cover. I'm gonna have to go back to the video and check it out, but I don't know. I don't see any new growth in here. So we had two of them. One of them, oh, is that? No. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. They're just not doing anything. I might just cut them back to the ground and just give them a little bit of time and see what they do. Other than this front area right here, there's nothing left to do. We've already addressed pretty much everything as far as cleanup in the 2 front beds. We just have to come in and fertilize when we do our fertilizing day. I do want to show you though. So you know we have the 2 rising sun red buds here and the 2 in the backyard, but look. Can you guys see that? We have buds. It is just loading up with buds. I am so excited. I can't wait to see this. Can't wait to see these trees just kind of poof, explode with their flowers. These are also great native trees too, and the pollinators love them in the spring. The bumblebees and honeybees, they should be all over these. But it's just, any little bit of spring color just makes me happy. So I'm gonna go grab my pruners real quick, come back out here. We're gonna cut back the verbena and a couple of those ground covers, and then I'm just gonna yank that 1 laurel petal out with my bare hands. And I didn't know what I was gonna need today, so I just brought out a random few things. I've got a leaf blower, my gloves, hand trowel, weeding fork, my pruners, my nippers, kneeling pad, and my little pitchfork. Here's an update on our seedlings. They're out here with us today, hardening off. They've been out here for about an hour. We're having partly cloudy, partly sunny skies, which is perfect to get these acclimated. We've got a little bit of a breeze. You can see them just kind of dancing in the wind. This is the lettuce and celery that I reseeded. Look at these. They did better in here than their little seed containers. And these are going to be ready to go out into the beds pretty soon. Aren't they gorgeous? This is just like a cup full of salad. This is actually a good day for random chores. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. Sun's not out, so you can pretty much do anything out here and you're not going to overheat. Okay, let's just start with our cutback. Just clear this area. Don't even have to worry about cleaning it up. It just blends right into the mulch. This one is all of just like 4 or 5 snips. Next we have our verbena. Oh, that's going to be beautiful. It's got this mulch away. And let's just get rid of some of this. This thing did have a lot of scraggly branches when we put it in the ground, and everything in here did go in fairly late. So the fact that we lost a loropetalum, I'm okay. Okay, this we can just kind of blend right in. This will become mulch. We'll just get our tag in here. Okay. Last but not least, the loropetalum. And I am just gonna check, see, look at that. See, it is showing signs of life. Can you see that? It's kind of hard with this camera. There, can you see that? There is green in here, so there is still life in this. Okay, so we're just gonna leave this be. If you're ever unsure whether a plant or a shrub is alive or not, just take the blade end of your pruners and scrape the bark back. If you see green like we just saw here, you know it's still alive. So there is some life in it. Whether or not it's gonna do anything, we're just kind of gonna have to wait and see. But if we were to scrape the bark back and it was brown or tan, that is a clear indication that the plant did not survive. So it's safe to pull and discard. Well, that was a quick 3-minute project. I love that. Now let's go make our way to the backyard and see what we can get into. One of these days, I'm going to get me or Mo to grease that gate because that squeak is like nails down a chalkboard. See that? Ugh. Flowers are pretty. Ugh. I want to show you guys one thing too in relation to the invasive weeds, the lesser celandine. I just want to show you how aggressive and how strong of a plant this is. I came out here a couple days ago and plucked all of those yellow flowers, threw them in my trash bin, and check this out. Let me move the soil. Look at that. I pulled these off and they're still yellow and alive. This one's opening. Unreal. Now let's make our way back to our little nursery over here. There's a few ornamental grasses that I want to completely cut back. So we're just gonna grab them and bring them over to the table. Okay, so I grabbed all of our ornamental grasses and cat's pajamas nepeta. Look at these though. I can't wait to get these in the ground. We've got a dwarf fountain grass over here. Look at this. Even in the winter, this is just beautiful. Like I would not cut this back until right now, like early spring, because it just looks so pretty. It's got this beautiful like wheat color and texture. Oh, and then we've got two desert plains pennisedums over here. Look at these. They're so little right now in their little 1 gallon or half-gallon cans, but these get 48 inches tall and 36 to 48 inches wide. Oh, these are going to be pretty. And look at the plumes on these. Can you see them? Oh, so pretty. And then, of course, our cat's pajamas nepeta. We have a whole hedge of that out front. So we just need to get rid of all of this stuff. And then over here we have a Prairie Winds Blue Paradise. I've never had this before, but oh my, it looks like it's got this beautiful like silvery blue tinge with some, looks like reddish seed heads. Ugh, I'll have to double check on that, but ooh, so pretty. This gets 36 to 42 inches tall and only 24 inches wide. So this is a lot more narrow. The desert plains, is definitely a lot wider and bulkier. I just can't wait to play with these though. All right, so all I'm gonna do is just cut them all the way back down to probably just like a couple inches from the soil line right there, right from the base. And just get them all nice and ready for the season. All right, let's start with our cat's pajamas nepeta. And this I'm just gonna cut all the way back down to where the new growth is. And then just try and remove as many of these stems as I can and some of these leaves and just kind of let it breathe around the base. Pretty. Now we move on to our grasses, and these are so satisfying to cut back. So for these, all I do is just grab the entire plant like a ponytail and just come in about an inch from the bottom and cut it back. And just get any scraggly loose ends around the base. And there you have it. It's quite a difference. So just grab it like a ponytail, get your pruners, and just cut. And you can just go around, get rid of any scraggly pieces. Remove all of your cuttings. That's it. This is one of the more relaxing chores, I think, to do. There's not much to it. So on these larger ornamental grasses, especially when they're in the ground, if you go to cut them back, an easy way to do it is grab the entire plant like a ponytail, and then if you can, tie it with either some string or a zip tie or anything. That way when you cut it off, you don't have a whole bunch of all of this foliage just falling all over the place. You'll have it in one big bundle and it's so much easier to discard. But this is going to be so satisfying. Okay, here we go. If this was in the ground too, I would probably take hedge trimmers to it and just hack it off in one fell swoop. I have a couple of creeping Jenny that have wintered over in their nursery containers. They've literally sat on the corner of the kitchen porch or stoop all winter long. I thought they had completely just perished, but look, they're coming back. Both of them are pushing new growth. What are these? These are, let's see, these are hardy down to -20. Oh, okay. All right. Great. 2 more plants I wasn't expecting. For these, I'm just going to remove the dead foliage. I'm not going to pull on them too hard because they're not deeply rooted. I just want to expose the new growth to some light. So here they all are after their haircuts. Look totally different, don't they? But so much better. The creeping Jenny actually surprised me. I was not expecting for this to come back. And here it is. And I just literally came in and just cut a few of these off. Again, it's not super deeply rooted, so I don't want to tug at this yet. I think it's just waking up, so I just want to be gentle with that. The ornamental grasses, so satisfying to cut these back. Oh, they look so much better. Now we got all of this exposed to light and air. Once they break dormancy, they will be pushing out new growth and they'll be gorgeous. And then of course we have our lone cat's pajamas nepeta, and just came in and just cut all of these scraggly little branches, cleaned it all up. Beautiful. Oh, one of my favorites. Look at that, so pretty. The last thing I'd like to get done today is turning the soil over in a couple of the raised beds. And all that entails is just getting in there with a pitchfork, fluffing up all the soil, breaking up any hard compacted areas, removing any old plant debris and root systems from last season, and just kind of fluffing it all up, getting it ready for this season. I'm not gonna come in with any fertilizer or compost yet. I'm gonna apply those once we're ready to plant because I don't want any rain or anything to kind of wash any of it out. So I want it to be fully charged when we plant. That's random pieces. So all I'm doing is just getting in here and just turning over the soil, just fluffing it all up, getting rid of any roots from plants from last year. That's all there is to it. Well, these look a lot better now, don't they? All we did was just come in with our pitchfork and just get in there and just break up any hard clumps of soil, remove any old debris, roots, and just kind of level it off again. And they just look so much nicer. The soil is a lot fluffier. Look at that. And we didn't go too crazy as far as digging in there and just tearing things out. Between the 2 beds, this is all the roots that we took out from the soil. And these are 3 by 6 foot raised beds. So not a lot, a little bit of muscle work and poof. And you guys, that is it for our chores today. All I have left to do is get those shrubs back in their spot, clean up my debris from the raised beds, get the seedlings back inside because they've been in the sun for a few hours now, and just water a few things in, and we are done for the rest of the day. And I love days like that where you can come out, you don't really have like an idea in your head of this whole big list of things you want to get done, you know there's a couple things, but you get to walk around the property, and if you see something, you can address it, take care of it, and by the end of the day, or by the time that you want to call it for the day, you've knocked so many little things off your checklist. It feels so accomplishing, and just so fun to just get out here and just roam around the property and inspect it and take a look at everything, see what's going on, and just make mental notes if you don't have time to get to it today. We were out here for probably an hour and a half, and I feel like we got so much done. We deadheaded or cut back all those perennials, cleaned out a couple raised beds, addressed some issues in the front flower bed with potential plants that were not dead, which is always fabulous, and just took a good look and a good inspection at the garden. And I love that. Anyways, guys, I hope you get a chance to get out and roam around your property and just knock a few more things off your checklist. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you in the next one. Have a great day. Bye.